there. I'm his Big Bear Ron, and I hope I'm not copying what someone else has already said about morality. Nevertheless, here goes my 2 cents worth. I see morality as evaluating consequences. We do that to determine what we want. But before we can do that, we have to identify just exactly what causes what. And we have to give some analysis as to why we want it and why we don't. And, I guess it all boils down, to the individual. What does the individual want? Why and why not? And then we extend that to the collective, why do we want such and such, and why do we want it, and what we don't want, and why we don't want that. And I think at the primary level, it's mainly we want to survive, and then we want to be happy. But then in order for we to survive and we to be happy, I want to be happy, I want to survive, I want to live my lifetime. I think writers like Ayn Rand hit the nail on the head when they said the basic moral purpose of the human being is to achieve his or her own happiness. And his or her most noble purpose would be productive achievement. And I think there's something to be said about that. If we would all determine exactly what causes what, and then use that information accurately, and then bring that information together, then we have to reason out together just what we want and what we don't want. We decide upon the consequences that we want and the consequences that we don't. Given all that, I guess we could say that morality is the information with which we place our bets on our future. And then we seek to determine, just exactly what causes what. At best, we're making a gamble, but hopefully a very informed gamble, an informed risk. And we make statements, to concentrate all of that thought, and so morality can be a very powerful tool, but it's only as good as the information that we have to go with. I could say promiscuous sex equals sexually transmitted diseases. Now that's a moral statement, but how good is that statement? It's probably a better moral statement to say that some promiscuous sexual activity can lead to sexually transmitted diseases. But, even that is not the most refined statement that we can come up with. And I think the task of morality is to produce the most accurate assessment of reality that we can. And the hope, I think, is so that we can equip ourselves for making decisions about consequences. As Maria Montessori said in one of her books, we become makers of consequences rather than victims of circumstances. About the relative nature of morality, I will say that, first of all, every truth is relative to something else being true. And so all truth is relative. However, causes and effects are what they are. They have identities. The identities do exist. Existence is absolute. But that's a different thing from saying we know what those identities are. To the extent that our identifications of causes and effects are absolutely accurate, to the extent that we fall short of accurately identifying specifically specific causes and specific effects, then our morality is going to be relative.